What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode, we are finally going to learn about the White Wolf, Shin Matsunaga. During our coverage of MSV Battle Chronicle Johnny Raiden, we briefly ran into the White Wolf as he assisted the Crimson Lightning with the ghosts of their past. In this episode, we will be introduced to Shin Matsunaga, and we will see the role he played during Operation British. So let's get into this. We return to December 24th, UC-0079, during the Battle of Solomon. The Zeon fortress is about to lose their leader. The Big Zam launches and takes out squads of GMs with ease. Zeon forces are dwindling. Commander Dolzul Zabi and the Big Zam tells his men to evacuate Solomon. One of his men watches the Gundam approach the Big Zam as they evacuate. This is Meyer, the co-pilot of the Big Zam. Slegger is there as well. Never mind. Amado in the Gundam comes in and destroys the Big Zam. Dolzul goes out like a boss, taking on the Gundam with just a machine gun and made Amado scared for just a moment. Meyer goes and tells Lady Zena Zabi about His Excellency's death, but he doesn't explicitly say it. She simply knows. She says if the lieutenant was here, this would have never happened. December 25th, UC-0079. The ship is on its way to Granada. Olga approaches Meyer. He is in a slump since losing the battle and doesn't really want to talk. He thinks back to talking with Lady Zena. She tells him that one man can't change the tides of war. Olga brings up Kaecilia's name and Meyer begins yelling at her. He is very much a Dolzul loyalist and is mad at Kaecilia for not sending any reinforcements to the Battle of Solomon. He was Dolzul Zabi's royal guard and he swears that he will honor Dolzul's death by protecting Lady Zena and Menova Zabi. A duckbill is watching over the Guazin. We have seen the recon type Saberfish duckbill piloted by Ryu Jose during the Battle of Loon and Gundam Origin. The duckbill can carry two people, one pilot and a radar observer. The nose and rear of the cockpit are also equipped with additional sensors and radars. Suddenly, EFF, coming from Earth, approaches their ship. They launch GMs. The Guazin launches its mobile suits to intercept, including Meyer. He swears he will get revenge. Olga will assist him. Both launch in your standard MS-06F. Meyer goes in and begins attacking. One of his comrades gets shot down. It appears there is a sniper on the battlefield, a GM Sniper Custom to be precise. The RGM-79SC GM Sniper Custom was a product of a bunch of EFF ace pilots complaining. Along with this unit, the GM Light Armor was also a product of this complaint. It has more powerful backpack thrusters. This unit also had an additional armored visor that was equipped with an image sensor and an image enhancer. The mobile suit surprisingly rivaled the RX-78 Gundam. The GM Intercept Custom and Guard Custom were the evolution of the Sniper Custom. It is equipped with a beam blade on the forearm, the R4 type beam rifle, which has better precision than the Gundam's beam rifle, but also less ammo. Besides the typical GM loadout, it of course also has the beam sniper rifle. This pilot is named Ernesto. One GM comes in and melees Meyer. He recognizes his skills are too good to be guarding the Zabis. Another mobile suit comes in and attacks the Guazin. This is a GM Intercept Custom. The RGM-79KC GM Intercept Custom is a late production version of the GM Sniper Custom. It is a defensive unit that is designed to protect the fleet and intercept units as the name implies. Its specialty is the Fellow Booster. It is the evolution of the Corvette Booster and is meant to be a general use support pack similar to the G-Armor and the Gundam. The Fellow Booster is armed with a pair of missile launchers. Other weapons include Vulcans, a beam saber, the beam spray gun, and much more. The pilot of this unit is Hope Galloway. The Intercept Custom is able to take out one of the Musais following the Guazin. It pushes forward. Meyer is distracted by GMs attacking him. The Guazin is wide open. Suddenly, a mobile suit comes in with the quickness. Olga notices the emblem of the White Wolf. It is Shin Matsunaga in the Rick Dong. He tells Olga to fall back if she is unable to fight. Olga tells Shin that Dolzul has died. He begins wrecking the GMs. The White Wolf of Solomon was said to be the right-hand man of Vice Admiral Dolzul Zabi. This is his story. Lady Zena Zabi is informed that Shin is fighting. She seems to be concerned for him. Shin continues handling business on the battlefield. They are informed of reinforcements, but it is just one person. The GM Sniper notes that this one man is turning the tides of battle and that he has a bad feeling about this. Meyer is being chased. Shin calls out a maneuver and Meyer instantly changes direction, taking a bunch of G's to the face and intercepts Shin. They start fighting over a GM. Shin is able to take out Hope's fellow booster. He meets up with Ernesto, who tells him to go meet up with the fleet. They both retreat and meet with Cormac. Hope tells him about his flight pack. He tells his 2 subordinates to watch out for the White Wolf. The Zeon team heads back to the Guazine. Meyer asks where he got the Rick-Dom, but Shin doesn't answer. They stop asking questions for now. Shin heads back to the ship with a civilian ship. On board is a girl named Aurelia, who came on behalf of Shin. Shin apologizes to both Meyer and Olga for putting them through so much trouble, but Olga isn't satisfied until he gives her his exact reasons for leaving. She also wonders why he brought civilians on board. Shin goes to meet with Lady Zinna. He keeps apologizing for not being there for Dozel. He shouldn't have left his side, or rather, her side. She tells him that he has done enough. Zinna says that Dozel was never a lonely man. She coughs. A vague sickness has already begun to affect her. He feels sorry for Minerva, knowing that she will be a product of political strife. Zinna grabs Shin and asks him to run away with her. Oh. So we can assume that Shin left because he was in love with Zinna and didn't want to be around her. She has had enough of this. Enough of the war. He empathizes what she is going through and wants to understand it all. But this isn't what His Excellency Dozel Zabi would want. She asks for help, tears in her eyes. He says that he will always be there as a soldier. However, he says he doesn't want to make the same mistake again. We can assume this mistake is the 2 having an affair. He says that he hopes she understands and walks away from Zinna, leaving her alone once again. He heads over to Aurelia, who is looking out into space. He asks her to play a song for him. She notes that this is the first time that she has asked her to play. She pulls out her violin, tunes it, and begins playing. Shin closes his eyes and remembers earlier in the year to January 8th, UC 0079. His team is guarding Island Ifish. In 2 days, on January 10th, Operation British will take place. After that, they believe that the war will certainly come to an end. Of course, we know this mission will fail, and the war will become a stalemate for 8 months. They all talk about what they want to do after the war. Meyer is there as well. Shin wants to have time to listen to music from the old times. They are expecting the Tiamen fleet to come protect the colony. The Minovsky particle density is at combat level. That is when megaparticle cannons come blasting towards the colony. They must prevent anything from getting close. A couple of EFF Toreadis come in. The FF-4 Toreadis is a space fighter developed by the Hervet Company. These ships were mainly deployed to Luna 2. These planes are not prepared for Minovsky particle density, however. Before the GM, these were fleet ships' main fighters and eventually became obsolete. It is equipped with a pair of 25mm machine guns. They take out the ships with ease, but their radars go out and wonder what it is. It happens to be a Public-class ship carrying a nuke. The Public class is a space assault ship that was created once EFF realized the existence of mobile suits, but before they themselves created the Gundam. This is a straightforward missile carrier designed for hit-and-run missions. In this case, designed to come in and drop a nuke. Besides nukes, this ship is typically equipped with anti-ship missiles, beam diffusion missiles, and a 6-tube missile launcher. The nuke goes off. Commander Killing watches and wonders if EFF even cares about its own men. Shin and Meyer go in and begin their bombing run. EFF ships are confused as to why their radars are malfunctioning. Admiral Tiamen tells the fleet to spread out. Shin rushes towards a Magellan-class ship. He's getting too far ahead of Meyer. Aurelia's music intensifies. He goes in and blasts the Magellan with his bazooka. He is able to sink the ship. Tiamen recognizes that Zeon has the colony very fortified and they won't be able to get close. The battle rages on for 2 days. Many people die trying to protect the colony from EFF. There are great losses on both sides. Suddenly, the colony makes its way into Earth orbit. The commander tells Shin and Meyer to watch intently. This is the work of Zeon. They watch the explosion go off as the colony hits Australia. A subordinate comes in and tells Commander Killing that the colony didn't hit Jaburo, but he cuts him off and leaves, as if he already knows. He tells the fleet to return and meet up with Dozel's fleet. He heads to his quarters and opens up a drawer to reveal a literal Chekhov's gun. Meyer and Shin return. The crew greets Shin with praise for shooting down a Magellan. Everyone celebrates the potential end of the war. Shin doesn't think that's going to happen after what he witnessed. He has no interest in rising in the ranks attacks, but his commander tells him that others would kill to be in his position and he has the potential to be an ace. The fleet heads out and meets up with the Fall Mel, Dozel's personal ship. Shin heads on board and meets with the other elite Zeon pilots who played a big role during Operation British. The important people we see are Char Aznable, Anival Gato, and Norris Picard. We know Char and talk about him too much, but Anival Gato will go on to be a part of the Delaz fleet during the Battle of Abaoku and during Operation Stardust. And Norris Packard was the adult figure in Aina Sahalin's life and served the Sahalin family. He will be killed in action by Shiro Amada. Dozel commends every soldier. When he gets to Shin, he wonders why he is there. He is currently a seaman. You could tell because he doesn't have the black officer vest thing. He says that he is prepared to sacrifice himself for the ideals of Zeon. Gato scoffs at him. His comrades celebrate. Shin has been promoted to petty officer 2nd class. His lieutenant teases him, but then mentions that killing wasn't at the ceremony earlier. It appears that him taking responsibility for the failure of the mission means that the colony didn't hit Jaburo. Now this drives me a little crazy. This is Killing J. Dunnigan, commander in charge of Operation British. He looks like this. He also has this gun, which he will use to kill himself. Now this is Killing from War in the Pocket. He looks like this, exactly like the other Killing. He also has this gun, exactly like the other Killing, which he used to kill himself as well. Why would you create two Zeon commanders named Killing that look so similar and both kill themselves in a similar manner? Both the writer and the artist got lazy on this one. Maybe they also got confused and thought it was the same Killing. I honestly don't blame them. The wiki even links to the wrong Killing. Someone leave a comment if they can explain this. He tells them that there is a rumor that Side 5 is the next target. Shin snaps out of it and comes back to reality. And that will do it for this episode. I wanted to do a Shin Matsunaga video for some time, so I am glad we were able to dive into this one. We could also make the assumption that Aurelia playing the violin around Minevazabi influenced her to play. In our next episode, we will see the Battle of Loon play out, and we will see Dozel Zabi get inside of Azaku. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, be like Shin Matsunaga and fail upwards. Peace.